Okay, deep in the heart of Ghana, in the beautiful forests of the Ashanti region, there's this incredible story they've passed down for generations. It's a legend about a chief who did something nobody thought was possible. He faced death itself, and he actually won. This is his story.
I mean, that's a wild question, right? It sounds like something straight out of a fantasy epic. But for one man, this question became his reality. Because, when you go and mess with the most basic rule of existence, what do you think happens next?
So, let's meet our hero, Nana Dwenti Asimpa. He was the respected, powerful chief of a town called Bodomase, and this guy was known for his incredible courage and wisdom. But his greatest ever victory? Well, that was about to become his biggest problem.
All right, so picture this. Our story kicks off with Nana Dwenti Asimpa, heading home from the big Adae Festival. He's walking a path he's taken 1,000 times, a path he knows like the back of his hand. But tonight, something is just off. The forest is dead silent, and the air feels thick, heavy, and cold.
He rounds a corner, and then he sees it. It's like the shadows themselves are pulling together, taking shape. Out steps this tall, gaunt figure, just radiating this awful, chilling energy. The chief knows right away, this is no animal. This is something else entirely.
And then it speaks. The voice sounds like dry leaves scraping on stone, and it gives its name, Owuo, which means death. And in that one terrifying moment, Nana Dwenti Asimpa realizes he is literally face to face with the end of all things.
And you know what he does? He doesn't flinch. He doesn't run. He fights. What happens next is this absolutely ferocious battle. The chief's own steel dagger against this swirling dark energy of Owuo. It said the forest itself seemed to twist around them. And then, with one final impossibly brave strike, he brings Owuo down. As the being fades, it leaves behind its ornate palanquin, the very thing it uses to travel, and the chief snatches it up as a trophy of his victory.
So Nana Dwenti Asimpa walks back into his town, Bodomase, as the ultimate hero. I mean, can you imagine? The town goes wild. He conquered death. But after the parties and the songs die down, the joy starts to fade, and it's replaced by something very, very strange.
You see, the chief's amazing victory created this bizarre paradox. On the one hand, it was an incredible blessing. Nobody in Bodomase died anymore. Sickness, injury, old age, they just didn't lead to an end. But that blessing came with a terrible curse. No new life could begin either.
And we're not talking about a weird week or two. For 3 whole years, the entire cycle of life in Bodomase just stopped. 3 years with 0 deaths, but also 0 births. The town was literally trapped, frozen in time.
So yeah, this so-called gift of immortality, it wasn't a gift at all. It turned out to be this slow, creeping curse. The greatest victory imaginable was now quietly strangling the very life out of his community. I mean, think about what that would actually be like. The whole rhythm of life was just gone. Women who were pregnant when it all started, they just stayed pregnant, unable to give birth. And with no new babies, there's no next generation. No laughter, no growth. Bodomase was turning into a living museum, a town stuck in the past with no future to look forward to.
Now, Nana Dwenti Asimpa was a great leader, and he saw what was happening. He realized that being a powerful warrior wasn't going to fix this. He'd messed with something ancient and fundamental, and he was smart enough to know he needed help. He needed wisdom that was bigger than his own.
So his search for answers leads him to a woman named Owuo. She was a famous fetish priestess, someone known for her incredible connection to the spiritual world. If anyone could understand the mess he'd made, it was her.
And Owuo hears his whole story, and for her, the answer is crystal clear. She tells him, "You broke the natural balance." That palanquin, the trophy from his greatest fight, was the source of the problem. To save his people, he had to do the unthinkable, undo his victory. He had to give it back to death. Talk about a tough choice. But the chief, being a true leader, put his people first. He journeyed back into that same dark forest, but this time he wasn't going as a conqueror. He was going as someone trying to put things right.
He went back to that same clearing, called out, and offered the palanquin back. And you have to understand, this wasn't surrender. This was an incredible act of wisdom. It was him realizing that true strength isn't about total control. It's about respecting harmony.
And the moment Owuo took back the palanquin, everything changed. Instantly. It was like the whole world could finally take a deep breath again. Back in Bodomase, the curse lifted. Life and death came back. The cycle was whole again.
But the chief's story doesn't just end there with fixing his mistake. It becomes something much bigger. It becomes his lasting legacy.
This really lays it all out, doesn't it? He had this amazing victory, faced the terrible consequences, and then found the wisdom to restore the balance. And in time, Nana Dwenti Asimpa passed away, naturally, just like everyone else, but he left behind a community that truly understood the incredible lesson he had learned for them. And these were supposedly his final words to his people. He didn't ask them to remember him as the guy who beat death. He asked them to remember the lesson, the importance of living in harmony with the world, not trying to conquer it.
So when you boil it all down, the legend isn't really about defeating death at all. It's about the deep wisdom that came from that experience. The chief's real achievement, the thing that made him a true legend, was learning that death isn't some enemy you have to fight. It's just a necessary, vital part of life itself. And that really leaves you with something to chew on, doesn't it? This ancient story is a timeless lesson about balance. It kind of makes you wonder, in our own modern lives, with our technology, in our relationship with the planet, what essential balances are we messing with right now? And what kind of wisdom will